All right, thanks the two of you for joining right now. We'll see if some other people trickle in. We're in a design review call here with Satlantis, which is a custom Minecraft server with Bitcoin integration. And Duhneeno here is the person who runs it all. And why don't we just start with a quick intro about where this project came from why Minecraft, why Bitcoin, how do the two
Yeah,
fit together, what you want to achieve, these types of things.
yeah, totally. So how it kind of came together, I was just a big fan of Bitcoin, as I'm sure we all get that, and then a big fan of Minecraft. And it's kind of an idea I've had for like a few years now, just kind of like thinking, being a gamer, how can we get Bitcoin? How can we integrate Bitcoin better with gaming? Um, and I don't think, there's been a few attempts, but I don't think it's really been done super well yet. And it's still early stages, so that's understandable. Um, but yeah, I had been thinking about this idea for a couple of years. I actually started working on this in the beginning of COVID. I had gotten laid off, um, and so I started like tinkering around with plugins and picking up Java a little bit, um, and then I actually got another job, so I stopped working on it. Um, and then I picked it up again about 6 months ago, and I said, I think this could be a great idea, uh, and I just went, full steam ahead. So for the past 6 months or so, uh, I've been grinding this out, and yeah, that's kind of how it came about. Just I thought Minecraft's a great game. It's a good kind of platform for kind of like a Bitcoin economy ecosystem,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So it's interesting. I looked it up earlier. So Minecraft was launched in 2009. Apparently, just after a few days of development, this guy was doing it on the side, and it was very much developed in the open with like very early
Yeah,
versions shared on YouTube. People could, before an official release, people could download it, and it just kind of it was built in an open source way in a way. But you still had to pay for the
totally.
game, right? And in the meantime, it's become the best selling game in the history of video games, which is kind of crazy, with
Hmm.
240 million unit sales. And there
Hmm.
are 140 million monthly active players. And that is like 14 years now after it was released. So I think it's pretty crazy. And especially because it's like an open-ended box game. There's no clear story or achievements what in comparison to a lot of these AAA games that spend like $200 million on a game, and you have
Right.
like these ultra defined characters and it's super cinematic and animated, but this one is just a really open playful world, and there's a super rich community of mods and servers and almost like existing micro economies. So Duhneeno, you mentioned earlier that there's a server called Hypixel, which I'm also familiar with through my son and his nephews. They play there all the time, and they apparently there's a pretty good business around offering a modified server where people can play these micro games. They can buy,
Hmm.
what do they buy on there? What do they spend
Yeah,
money
you
on?
can buy cosmetics,
Right?
ranks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, they have a major economy.
Yeah.
There's trading. So the idea of having like a virtual currency in Minecraft is a very popular concept.
Mhm.
But obviously, that currency isn't exchangeable with other servers or other games or in the real world. Um, but the kind of cool thing is that there is that whole economy based around kind of the in-game virtual currency. And then, so if we kind of take that concept and tie it to Bitcoin, what emerges from that?
Yeah. Yeah. And as we talked about earlier too, there are some other places in and around Lightning that are trying to make that happen with podcasts, value for value. Stacker News is trying to give back to the people who post good content, reply to content. And then on Nostr, you have these saps now where people are just sapping sats to each other.
Yeah.
It's like open source Twitter in a way. So do you have so you started this. You live in Austin. You mentioned earlier, there's a big Bitcoin scene. You know a few people, and you got in contact with the Bitcoin company. Can you
Hmm.
talk a little bit about that integration there? Because I think that's also
Yeah,
part
sure.
of your economy.
Yeah, I'd love to. So yeah, like you're saying, I'm in the Austin Bitcoin scene, and when I had this idea, I started talking to people at the meetups about it, And there's so many people that love Minecraft. They're like, yes, dude, like, tell us more. Let us know when it's live. And so Ben the Car Man came in the server and just he loved it. I was playing a bunch, and so I started talking to him about how can we partner here. And then Ben Price, the other team member at the Bitcoin company, we all got in a call and for an hour or so and just kind of started brainstorming. And then the idea of the kind of in-game virtual store came up, which was a lot of fun to build. Um, Actually, we could probably switch to in-game now to show the virtual store.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was just about to do that too. So here in my background, I pulled up the world map. So if you go to Satlantis.net, you this is a community built plugin to Minecraft, right? So
mhm.
in Minecraft, you have this world that is typically automatically generated for every time you play, and this is the Satlantis world. And you see a couple people here. There's someone called Spinkle at the top, King Lucas here in the center, and Mzis here down here. And if I zoom in, then the this is kind of so there's a lobby in the world, and then there's kind of the open world. And in this open world, something people can do is they can claim land, and they can build their own little houses here. Like here's Bitcoin Jungle, Blockbusters HQ. So people
And
have kind of
Christoph, you
set
can
up
actually
shop.
toggle off the green overlay there in the top left to kind of get a better view of the. Yeah, if you click lands,
Yeah.
yeah, then you can get a good view of the builds.
And you can see people live as they walk around this land here. And of course, got to point out the most important land of all of them, which is here on this volcano. Here is the Bitcoin design land.
I love it.
Super cool. We are existing
Yeah,
There you go.
in Satlantis.
no,
But there's
that's
also, do you know the story? Maybe there's this gigantic land. Let me turn this back on. Like there's this super massive one called Trump World. Someone must have been incredibly active here.
yeah,
That is insanely huge and ridiculous. Do you personally know,
yeah,
who
yeah.
these
I do.
players are? And
He was at the Bitcoin meetup, and he was another one that said Minecraft and Bitcoin, sign me up.
mhm,
And yeah, he was our most active player. You know, for those first couple months when we were beta testing it. He's just an incredible builder. Loves to build. Um, and that's the cool thing about Minecraft. Like you were saying, there's no really set objective. It's kind of like life in that way, where it's like it's what you make of it.
mhm,
And some people like to go fight the dragon, right, and do kind of PvP, player versus player. And other people just want to like kind of like be creative and like build nice architecture or start clans and kind of do kind of community stuff, explore, collect resources. So there's so many different things you can do with Minecraft. Um, and yeah, Stin is the maker of that land, and he's just an incredible builder,
mhm.
uh, and just love the idea of being able to kind of build. So he would play single player a lot, and that's fun. But then you don't really get to share. It's way more fun when you get to kind of have that kind of shared world where it's like other people get to appreciate each other's different kind of building styles and whatnot, and kind of build off each other. So his clanmates are starting to build around that area too. You could
Yeah,
see, so they're trying to build like a little city of sorts.
not just a little one. But
No,
okay,
it's
how,
not
how about
little at
we
all.
hop in the game now?
Yeah, sure.
So for Turbolay or anyone watching this after the recording here, I think you basically just go to multiplayer. You create a new server here, which you put in the server address play.satlantis.net, and that's it. Then you can hop in here.
Okay, so do I need to, because I've seen that Minecraft is paid. Do I just use the trial version then?
I don't think the trial version is going to allow you to connect to a server.
All right, cool. I'm going to sign up now. I'll get the Windows version.
Yes, it's Java. I believe they come packaged now, but just ensure that you're getting the Java version as well.
Okay, let me have a look here.
How about we meet here in the lobby?
Yeah, sure. I'm right over here.
All right, 1 second.
Here we go.
Okay.
Nice outfit there.
The
Thank you.
Minecraft Windows. Okay.
So Minecraft Windows is one version. Make sure you get the package version. I think it's the same price for both.
Let me just share my screen with you.
Yeah.
So I'm here on the home page. Oh, well, not the home page, but
Yep, that's good.
okay. So this is the one that I need.
Yeah, at the top. I don't know if I'm seeing a little bit of a lag. At the top, that was correct. Yep.
Okay.
Java and Bedrock. Yep.
This one?
Yep.
I guess the question is then, do you press the cart button or koppen?
Yeah, that means buy, because then I would have to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, you might have to. Is it 30 euros these days?
It's 30 euros.
Wow. I thought it was a lot cheaper.
Game Pass.
So I don't know. It's all tied in with this Xbox stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mo, I think it might be 30 euro now, the game. I'm not
Yeah.
quite sure. And someone's bored here. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you just want to watch or download it and install it now.
I think I'm just gonna watch
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the thing is my kids, both of my kids, there's a game that they play on the iPad, which is a building game as well. I forget what it's called.
Is it Roblox?
It might be Minecraft.
Minecraft?
I'm actually
I'm
gonna
not
open the
sure if
iPad because I might actually buy it because both of my daughters are absolutely crazy about it. So, I'll have a bit of a watch this time, but I might buy it for my kids because my youngest and my oldest both love it. So, yeah. We're
So,
gonna have
Duhneeno, I have a question for you right now.
Sure.
So, what phase is this world in right now? Are you still kind of testing? Are you trying to get as many people in there as possible? Do you keep it kind of to a closed circle? Are you trying to get people at meetups, or how do you think about your
Yeah,
audience?
it's definitely I'm definitely still looking for growth, but at the moment I'm kind of prioritizing just kind of adding features and working out kinks, and just trying to make it a smoother onboarding process.
Mhm.
Um, I would say it's probably I would still call it like a beta
Okay.
of sorts. Um, we're working on one thing I'm really excited is we're working on like an RTS, a real time strategy style game. So I've tried to design the server to be obviously as hack proof as possible.
Mhm.
With the kind of game modes I've done with Elytra racing. I don't know how familiar you guys are with online gaming, but hacking's a huge problem there. And if you attach real currency, Bitcoin, to a video game, you're just begging for people to come and hack to win. Which is kind of why I went with the design of separating the mining world. All the ores are in a dedicated mining world where they're very visible. And whereas typically in a standard Minecraft game, the ores are underground. And what players can do, if we had gone that path, you can use something called an X-ray that would allow you to just go find diamonds very quickly, and kind of get an advantage that way. So to get rid of that advantage, I just decided let's make all the diamonds visible, but put like a bunch of mobs, a bunch of monsters that are going to try to attack you. And then the other games, like I was saying, are the Elytra Racing,
Mhm.
which I think would be a
So
pretty.
how about we're in the game. We just kind of
Yep,
take a look at that now.
yeah, let's do it. So the
So
mini game section's over here.
so right now we're in the lobby, which is kind of a protected world. You can't fight each other. You can. It's a really cool. You can't build anything. It's like a static world with different statues. There's huge statues of
Yeah, so
warriors,
this is
I
where you
guess.
would first spawn into the game. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like you're saying, we call it the lobby. It's a way to get around to the different parts of the game. So
Mhm.
what I'm looking at here, that's the way to the mining world. We got a nice Bitcoin logo on the top. We'll just give a quick overview of all the different sections here. This is the portal to the overworld. That is where you can go claim land. You can build. That's the world map we were looking at earlier. So that's more of the standard Minecraft experience right there. Back here is where we have the Bitcoin company virtual store and some other shops. Like right here, you could trade your diamonds for emeralds, all sorts of ore trading. And then see here, you can buy Amazon gift cards with your balance. You could buy Walmart, Uber Eats, DoorDash. We have a little clothing store over here. You get Adidas, Nike,
Yeah.
Gap, all that good stuff.
So the way this works is that so I had in my Minecraft you kind of have this command line, right? And you can talk to people, you can put all kinds of commands, and every player has a wallet where they can type in deposit a certain amount of sats, and then that's where the BTCPay server integration comes in. They get sent to a web browser, to an invoice where they can pay it, and then that money gets sent to your node, I assume, and it gets assigned to this user. So then here in the right side of the screen, you have a balance. Those are your actual sats that are custodial, held by you for the player. And then in the game, I can buy land for them. I think it's like 6,000 sats for a small piece of land.
Yep.
And you can buy other things. You can buy food. You can buy armor, weapons, resources. And the other thing is that you can buy actual real world gift cards here.
Yeah.
So I'm here at the entertainment shop, and I can buy a Crunchyroll gift card or an Apple gift card. I'm just going to click on it. And then it tells me I don't have enough sats. I need, what is it, 105,198 sats to purchase that gift card. But if I had enough sats, how would that work now?
Yeah. So you get, it's pretty cool. So in Minecraft, there's books. And I definitely want to show you guys, one of our players built a really cool little area. But there's books in Minecraft. And in that book, you'll get the gift card code. So it's like a little gift card in the game. So we're using like the main Minecraft, the vanilla standard Minecraft components to kind of use this gift card system. Let me see if I might have one.
So get this, I have the iPad open in front of me,
Yep.
and I'm on Minecraft, which is installed on the iPad. My girls have been playing Minecraft since January 2021.
Okay.
They've got a couple villages in here. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. This is super cool. So I guess I could buy. I don't know if I have the paid version, but
So I think the iPad edition might be the Pocket edition, which is not compatible with the PC or desktop edition, because it's kind of simplified for mobile interactions.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, like we were saying before, Minecraft's like another kind of very open source community, and there are some people, and there are working plugins out there that do allow cross-platform compatibility.
Cool.
But with how modded Satlantis is, before, it's something we definitely would love to implement, but I'd want to do like a ton of testing before we were able to implement that. So that that's on the roadmap.
Yeah.
But not in the near future, unfortunately, because the experience is going to be so different from playing on an iPad to a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
We have to kind of totally like revamp all the kind of user interfaces and just how kind of a lot of the things work. But it's definitely something we'd love to do in the future.
My youngest, who's 6, like she loves this. Like I'm looking at all of the worlds that they've built here, and they just like, Mom, can I go build? Can I go build? And then she'll sit for an hour and she'll call me to the iPad, so proud. Look, Mom, look what I built. But she's a builder. But yeah, keep on going ahead. It's great to see this.
There you go.
Yeah.
I also wanted to draw attention to something else here while we're talking about money. And that's the idea of the prize pool that you see here. So there's a prize pool of 97,000 sats, and those are essentially the virtual block rewards that are given away. Right. So every day you dedicate a certain amount of sats that's given away every 10 minutes, just like in actual Bitcoin. The block rewards are distributed. And you as a player can basically mine or simulate mining in the game. And if you're lucky, then you find the block and you get a part of those rewards. And here if you open the text again, we can see that someone won. Um, let's see, the sat sniffers won 982 sats just a little bit ago. And that's also an essential component to kind of get no coiners onto to give them some Bitcoin that they can then actively use in the game.
So there, let me just reiterate. So people are mining in the game. You actually have to do something to mine, and if you're successful, you get a prize.
Do you want to show how that works, Duhneeno?
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to go to your land and kind of show your miners? I worked pretty hard on making those. Cool.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to teleport myself here to home. Okay. You're sharing this. Okay, so there we go. Over here at the Bitcoin design sign on top of the volcano.
Oh, I fell into the lava. All right, we're good.
Okay, so here's this tree. This is the land that I've claimed here, and there are three ASICs here. These three little boxes that we're looking at, and if I interact with them, I can put in. You can see at the top here, there's an empty spot. That's where I put in uh, emeralds, which are kind of the fuel that a miner needs. And this currently has a hash rate of 10. So hash rate is, in Bitcoin miners, that's what they do. They calculate hashes as fast as they can. And so now that this is running, I have a hash rate of 10 now, which you can also see in the UI. And the global hash rate, that means all the ASICs, all the miners that everyone in the game is running right now, are 830. There are some players who are super active. They have like 10, 20, probably more ASICs running. And that gives them a higher percentage to actually get the block rewards.
And the other cool thing is you could start a clan to pool your hash rate with other people. So you start like a team, and everyone's hash rate gets combined. And so how it works is, so Christoph has 10 hash rate right now. You're in a clan with Lucas, who maybe we'll say has 40 hash rate, just for example. And so total of 50 hash rate. Every 10 minutes, they have a chance of 50 out of 840, whatever that comes out to, of winning the block reward.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that allows completely new players or Minecrafters who've never owned Bitcoin. They get one of these ASICs by default when they enter the game. Everyone has one by default, and you can purchase more. They cost 70,000 sats, and so it gets some sats into the hands of no coiners too. And then if you want to withdraw them, you can use the command line. You can just go /withdraw. Right? Is it /withdraw or wallet?
Yeah, /withdraw, then the amount.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, and then you can get the money out and in your real world Bitcoin wallet. And of course, that, as you mentioned, attracts the hackers instantly.
Yeah.
We've talked to people at Thunder Games. We also spoke with some other people who have, like, they give away tiny amounts of sats, like cents essentially, and still hackers are all over it.
Yeah. Especially they do Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is notoriously bad with hackers. Notoriously bad. When you have kind of that simple game mode of to win, you essentially just click the other person's head. There are so many bots that have been designed over the years to perfect that, and so it's a really tough problem to solve. And so this is kind of where I think in this open world concept, the kind of proof of work style system kind of deters that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get ASICs, right? Everyone starts with one. You can earn them from doing feats in the game, but those are kind of limited for only like the best players, and that's in kind of these hack-proof game modes like Elytra Racing, which is Elytra's a wingsuit. Sorry, I didn't specify that. Which is a pretty tough game to hack. And then, like I was saying earlier, we're working on a real-time strategy game that's more of a strategy, as opposed to mechanical skill, where Counter-Strike's more of like a mechanical thing, which a bot can do way better than a human every time. Whereas a strategy game is going to be definitely help make gameplay fair.
Yeah.
It's a tough problem to solve. You put sats into a game mode, people are gonna look for ways to exploit. And kind of the way I've gone about that, and the community's been great so far with that, is if you find an exploit and you let me know to fix it, you'll get rewarded for that. But
Mhm.
if you used it to get an advantage, you'll be penalized. And kind of the powerful thing is we can penalize you with money because you're using it to gain money. We can also penalize with money. So if you use it to gain an advantage, we'll take your balance and put it into the prize pool for the players that play fair, right? So we can kind of use these financial incentives to get people to play fair, but that takes kind of going back to what stage is this game in. Um, Still like a lot of learning to do. Like when I had friends and people from the local Bitcoin community here in Austin testing out the game, everything's working fine,
Of course.
everything's working great. I'm telling my hacker buddies, um, you know, great programmers and whatnot, like try to break this thing. That's what this is for right now. And we ran it for like 2 months, um, and everything was going well. First night, I tweet out and kind of go live with the server. The server like crashes, breaks. There's all these issues going wrong. Um, it's
Yeah.
I think Lucas was doing some stuff when he was doing claim rewards that like overloaded the server. It's the younger kids are obviously just naturally better than us with the computers at just like doing all these little things. So it's actually been like a really good learning process and kind of fixing things. And another little exploit that I was able to fix, which is why like the kind of growth rate so far is nice. I have like time to be able to like fix these things. Is players were, I don't know if they were going to buy like bulk counts online or they were using stolen
Mhm.
accounts, but they would come in with secondary accounts, throw the ASIC to their main account, and all of a sudden they would have like 10 ASICs, right? And kind of gain an advantage that way. But luckily, we had some systems set up, kind of like to kind of look at those things, to see that they gained them in an unfair way. Um, a
Yeah.
couple of players I just talked to, I said, and they gave them back to me. So that went well. But yeah, a lot of learning. You open up the sats. People are gonna find ways to take advantage. But like I said, the community's been great so far, and kind of bringing those to my attention at this point. We've been able to bring patches. So what we do now when a new player comes in is they have to go through a series of quests that are almost like an introduction to the game. So you go to the mining world, you collect a bunch of iron and gold. That's a check mark. You go back to the lobby, you trade that iron and gold for emeralds. That's a check mark. That's part of the quest. Go to the overworld, explore the overworld for 15 minutes, and then claim land in the overworld. So that'll take about half hour if you're really quick with it.
Mhm.
So just kind of adds a barrier to kind of that kind of uh, I guess exploit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So you kind of created a proper onboarding experience there.
Yeah.
How about we walk around a little bit more to show some of these other things? Mo, do you have any questions right now?
No, I'm curious. You touched on a good point. I'd like to see the onboarding process that you
Yeah.
guys have created to, stop all of these things from happening.
Yeah. So because Christoph's already been a player,
Yeah.
he's already been on the server. So it's going to be for people that joined after when we implemented that.
Okay.
So if you do end up getting the game, and you pop in the server, it should kind of walk you through that and let me know how that experience is. Like I said, that's like we released that just maybe 2 weeks ago now.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
Mhm.
so yeah, let me know if you do, if you have any feedback, we'd appreciate that. Trying to make it smoother. It is a pretty difficult concept to explain. If to people that don't know Bitcoin and don't know Minecraft, um, it's tough. But for what we've had, talking about new coiners, which has been the coolest aspect. So I invited my cousin, who's a Minecrafter, and has heard a little bit about Bitcoin from me.
Yeah.
And he invited a friend, Captain Ferdinand, is his name in game, and he just absolutely he picked it up, absolutely loved it. He's gone from a no coiner, I think he's earned 5 million sats. Um, just playing a ton. And then just pretty recently, he invited a couple of his buddies, and I got to sit in on their voice chat. And I really wish I had recorded it because it was so cool. It was Captain Ferdinand kind of explaining to his buddies how to get on Cash App, how to get Bitcoin, and then how to use Lightning. So watching like a new coiner go from 0 sats, millions of sats, to explaining to his buddy like how the Lightning network works in just a
Yeah.
couple months was like a really cool. I mean, that's kind of like what this is about, is getting sats in people's hands where it's not just holding, right? You're actually using it. It's actually, we're actually using Bitcoin like money.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, this is, I was thinking out loud is that this is, if you want to introduce kids to Bitcoin or educate them, or maybe someone who's a newcomer, this is a really good entry point because it doesn't feel as serious as maybe downloading an actual app itself. It feels a bit more playful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Um, so I have a question here. So I'm just walking around in the background a little bit. I'm currently making my way to the mines, and I think an
Yep.
interesting aspect is that you can't run your ASICs for free, as we've shown earlier. You need to put in emeralds, and you
Yep.
don't get those for free. You have to work for them.
You gotta
Right?
go put in the proof of work.
Yeah, you have to buy them, or you have to go into the mines and mine
Yeah.
resources and find them. Of course, it's called Minecraft, so mining resources is kind of a prime activity, and that leads me to my question. So you have some people like what's this one person's name who is insanely good at the mini games?
Oh, pastet.
Pastete Frosch, which is like pastry frog in German.
Okay, I didn't know
Um,
that.
there seem to be a good amount of German people here in the.
Yeah, no, it's the whole server almost.
So
They're
there
always
are
talking German in the background. I'm like, guys, I don't know what you're saying. Are these swear words?
so there's there in gaming you have different, especially in online games, you have different types of characters. There are some people who are about collaboration. They want to form teams and do things together. Some people just want to cause trouble and fight others. Some people are all about perfecting skills or collecting the best items or other things. Have you thought about this in the game design as well, to provide different experiences for different people?
Yeah, totally. So like I said, we have Stin who built that incredible city. He hates the mini games. He's always telling me, he has a bunch of ASICs too, and he's like, I need better ways to get emeralds. I'm like, I have all these mini games, and he's just no good at them. So um, whereas other players play almost exclusively play the mini games. So yeah, I've tried to kind of offer. You have the overworld for the creatives that just want to build and kind of relax and do that kind of stuff, and then Hypixel, like we were talking about earlier, is a big inspiration where they have all these different offerings. Minecraft is really just a platform. It started out as just like simple building game, but it's really a platform where you can kind of do almost anything. Like I said, we're working on this RTS. So we're building games within the game that can hopefully, um, you know, that there will be a niche for everybody. I want to allow create as many ways as possible for people to get emeralds, um, so that
And
they can get sats.
Christoph, actually, what he mentioned is basically different user groups. So it's the people who like to build, the people who like to collaborate, the people who like to play the mini games. And then the
Mm-hmm.
last one I heard was the people who like to go out and find the gems.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how are you like? Because you're basically building this solo, if I understood correctly.
Yeah.
So like, from a how are you like? Where are you getting that feedback from? Are you getting that feedback in game? Are they like reaching out to you, or how's that happening?
Yeah. So we have in the Discord we have a suggestions channel, right?
Okay.
Um, so and then players will let you know when they don't like a feature or they want a feature. Um, so players have been pretty good though at just letting me know where things are working well, where they're not working well, where they want more. Um, you know, and what they would like to see in the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Pleasing everyone's pretty tough, but
exactly.
I'm trying. um, but for the most part, the feedback's been great. The feedback really has been great. Um, but yeah, offering so this diamond world that Christoph's in here. Um, it worked really well when we had the small group when we were like alpha testing, I guess I'll call it, for the first couple months, and there was enough ores there. But as more players started coming on, I had players complaining that there weren't enough ores. There's not enough diamond down there anymore.
Yeah.
We need more, or even so down there it's PvP. You can fight each other, uh,
Okay.
and we're talking about Pastry Frog is a really good fighter. So when he's down there, he runs the show a little bit, and that to some extent that can hurt the experience of others. So I am kind of I'm wondering if that player versus player kind of game style is the right way to go, or if I should take it to a more player versus environment style where they can kind of fight AI monsters
Yeah.
together. And that's the
Yeah.
kind of culture I want to create. I don't really want to create a culture where it's um, fighting and you're like killing each other um, so much, because I think that makes people a little bit salty, and maybe takes away from the experience. But we're going to see. I think so. You can get ores. There's a whole nother mining world where the
What
PvP.
is Sorry, what is Christoph doing? Because he's like banging the walls and getting these
Yeah.
blue gems off the walls. What is he
Yep.
doing?
So he's mining for ores. So down
Okay.
there is where the ores are most prevalent. You'll find the most diamond in the game, or you'll find iron, coal. But this is where all the diamond is in the game.
So he's pretty free to mine ore now because would someone come in and compete with him to mine ore and like trade
Totally.
with him?
And not only compete to get the ore blocks from him, they can go in there and kill him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's in there alone right now.
Yeah, luckily the pastry frog is not in there, because the pastry frog would.
Yeah, I've had this happen before where I think someone called Mike or so they just flew in on somehow with super amazing gear and just instantly killed me.
So how do you, I guess I should ask you, Christoph, how do you feel about the PvP experience? You're not a huge fan of it.
I'm just not good. Like I'm the person who is like, I'm just gonna build a few things. I'm gonna,
Right.
I don't know, set it. Mo. You can. There's so much you can do. You can build your own garden. You can grow vegetables. You can
Yeah.
make cakes. You can make these things. I'm more of the exploring, building, and I'm just not good at this.
Fighting.
Optimizing my clicks per second
Yes.
to the best
Yeah.
gear and all of this
I'm
stuff.
not a clicker as well.
No.
You know.
I would see myself as being more of a builder and more of a collaborator, like pretty much what I do in my everyday job. I
There
build
you
and
go.
I look for people to collaborate with me. So I'll be like, hey, you want to come build a village with me? And then
Yep.
I'll like grab a whole bunch of people to come build with me.
Yeah. So something you could do, which we just implemented, Christoph, I'm not sure if you saw it yet, is the auction house. So you can say start a
Mm.
wheat farm. Christoph, if you want to type in, or I guess I can over here, my screen's still up. If you type in /AH, so there's a whole bunch of commands you can run, right? Like we went through the
Okay.
withdraw deposit.
Yes.
But if you just do /AH, you'll see people can say go and collect record. So records are a rare item you get from. You can find them in chests from exploring that are out in the world. Other people have created firework rockets, which you can use to fly and get a boost.
Yeah.
And then potions are another one. You need to collect resources to make potions, and then you can list these. There's a whole auction house, so you can do a buy it now, or you can set a price for bidding to happen.
Nice.
So yeah, so kind of enable that economy for people who don't want to go PvP. Fight other people for resources. You can collect wheat and these other things to make potions, for example, get sats that way, and then you can buy diamonds from someone else or emeralds.
Super cool. I'd probably be the person building a version of Hogwarts and then
There you go.
inviting everyone to come and build potions and spells with me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's like my kind of personality.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be great.
I mean, this is another design challenge, Mo. Where so you have different players. I like certain activity, like this other player who's just super good at the parkour. And I think to get this economy going, a technique that can be used is that certain activities you can get certain things, but not
Mm-hmm.
other things. So
Yeah.
let's say, it's just like in the real world. I make bread, you make, I don't know, beer. I
Yeah.
want beer, I only have bread. I can't make my own beer. We need to trade, right?
We need to trade with
That's
each other.
why
Yeah.
that's how you get kind of an economy going. And by tying it to different player activity, that it becomes kind of a natural way. But you also need to make sure that it's like one thing's not worth more than the other one, but it's all kind of balanced out. And that is a really difficult design challenge in
Yes,
games.
it is.
Yeah.
But I think kind of actually adding kind of this, sats to everything and kind of allowing the market to kind of dictate the values does help balance things.
Mhm.
And the other cool thing is, so that it's a giant world, and there's different biomes. So some areas are going to be better at farmland, right? And other areas are going to be kind of like Christoph, where he is in the volcano, has a giant. All those black rocks are pretty tough to come by. So
Mm-hmm.
Christoph almost has a monopoly. And there's another volcano as well, but he has good access to that black obsidian that other players might not have access to in their land. So that's another way they can trade. And um, what's another? Yeah, like
Cool. So is
another
he?
big one.
So he's built this Bitcoin design mountain out of black obsidian.
So no, that was naturally designed there. The
Oh,
the,
okay.
the volcano was there. He just happened to spawn near Christoph. I don't know if you went exploring to find. You saw it on the map, and you said, "I want the volcano world."
Yep,
Probably.
that's
Yeah.
what we did.
Yep.
But now that how did he claim it? Because could I go fight him and then I can take over Bitcoin design world?
No. So yeah, that's the kind of I want to like avoid that kind of stealing of
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
So we have a claiming system. You would just type in /claim and would
Okay.
claim 16 by 16 block radius around you. So then everything in there is protected from other people.
Makes sense. That's much better. I
Yeah.
like the sound of that much more than people just going onto other people's lands, fighting them off, getting it.
Yeah.
Because
It's a
yeah,
huge problem in Minecraft where it's called griefing. People who essentially think of it like you see a sandcastle on a beach and like a kid and someone spent an hour making it, a kid can come in 10 minutes and just destroy it.
yeah,
It's a big problem on a lot of Minecraft servers. So we just got rid of that altogether and allowed people to take ownership of their land. Everyone gets a couple free chunks of land. Um, you can buy more, like Christoph was saying, for 6,000 sats for each chunk. Um, but yeah, protect your land is totally protected that way.
I used to play Little Sims, and it has the same, not the same concept, but I used to build worlds and build
Yeah,
my house and stuff. It's
I
it's a
remember
bit
that.
more it's a bit more feminine, but I spent hours playing Little
Yeah,
Sims.
no, The Sims was great. I loved The Sims back in the day.
Yeah, I spent hours playing it, and this reminds me a lot of Little Sims a bit. Little Sims.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So another question here. I was just walking around trying to do all kinds of things. I just died. Getting off of the volcano is kind of difficult. You need to be really careful, or you die. Um, but of course, there are tricks, as I'm hearing. Um, but you can build everything that you want basically, and Mo, like you said, for your kids, that's just a ton of fun. And so, but then I wanted to ask you, like, what what would you consider success for this project? Like, how long are you going to go at this? Like, what would you like to see happen?
Yeah, I think that this, the concept is working. Like I said, when I just started out, it was like a proof of concept. Is this kind of proof of work in gaming? Does it make sense? Do people hate it? Do people love it? And so the feedback's been great. So I'm all in. I'm all in. This is what I'm doing full time now. Um, and success would be getting more people on Bitcoin with gaming. Um, I think this concept, Minecraft is my favorite open world kind of sandbox style game. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of, there's Rust, there's Ark, Survival Evolved. Um, so in the long run, I think this is something that could kind of be ported to all sorts of different games and maybe even potentially a game built from scratch in the future. But I think Minecraft has such like a great platform to build off of already, um, that I have no reason not to stick with it. And it's something I'd love to support for as long as possible.
Yeah. And another question, how are people finding out about Satlantis? I mean, where are they coming from? Do you know that or
Yeah, so I do ask. A lot of them came from Stacker News.
okay.
And so I just made what I did for marketing, and it wasn't much. I made one tweet, or one tweet thread really, um, and a post on Stacker News. And from there, that's really essentially all I've really done. And the coolest thing is basically everyone that's come since those posts a month ago or so is the word of mouth, people inviting their friends, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
Um, and which kind of, lets me know I'm kind of on the right track.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to get, talking about the onboarding process. There's no better onboarding process than having your friend who's been playing for a week kind of bring on his buddies and explain how everything works. So
Yeah.
that that's been my marketing, and the growth has been good. The growth has been good. So I haven't had, and I'm working. I'm spending so much time trying to improve the game. I haven't had a lot of time to do like a full marketing push yet. Um, but as I was saying earlier, I think we're getting better at user onboarding with that initial quest, and so I'm probably within the next month or so start doing a marketing push on Reddit, a marketing push on Instagram, things like that. But yeah, I haven't had to do it so far.
Yeah.
The growth's all been kind of organic, word of mouth, which has been great.
But this is a niche within a niche because
Yes.
firstly, people gaming on Minecraft is so that's the niche is
Yep.
gamers Minecraft. And
Yep.
then the niche within that is that they would then have to have some interest in Bitcoin
Yep.
to have the interest in Satlantis. So
Yep.
it's a niche within a niche, but still it's a niche that's very passionate about one thing. Actually passionate about two things because they're
Right.
passionate gamers and then they're passionate
Yep.
with Bitcoin.
Yep.
So it feels as if the audience that you have accumulated and the users, they're probably going to be more long term,
Yeah.
because
100%.
yeah,
Yeah. All of our players are super passionate, super friendly community. Like I'm really lucky with the people we got so far. They're very helpful when a new player comes on. Everyone says hello and gives them some resources. So that's like super important. It's really important to create that from the beginning of like this culture of, I guess, inclusivity and just friendliness, because so many gaming cultures are not that way. Talking about Counter Strike with what I think Zebedee or Thunder's doing, the Counter Strike culture is really toxic. Not inviting, hacker everywhere. So kind of trying to like really maintain, and it's tough to convey. Like I'm not sure if I write like almost like a more extensive rule book where it's kind of the way I've been thinking about it is we're kind of like all a pro sports team together. Like the server pays you, right? And so to an extent, like we're teammates on a sports team. And I my background's in esports, which is professional gaming. So we should all have a kind of decorum that's above your standard online gaming experience, where it's every man for themselves. If we want this thing to grow and get sponsors to continue supporting the prize pool, we have to have, um, we should be acting in a way that's not your standard gaming experience, which is tough to convey, but it's been going well so far.
yeah.
How many gift cards, or do you know how many gift cards have been sold in the game?
Yeah, we've sold $1,000 of gift cards.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so great. It's such a cool feature, but on the other hand, I'm thinking, why would I want to buy a gift card in
Hmm.
Minecraft, right? Because it's
Hmm.
it's not really native to the game. I think it's a super
Yeah.
cool idea, but I'm curious how, why people choose to do that. Or
Yeah. So what we're doing now, and I don't know if this will be forever, is we're giving 2 stacks of emerald for every gift card
gotcha.
sale. Obviously, the Bitcoin company sponsored us. We need to show that if we're going to get continued sponsorship, we got to drive some revenue there. And the players that do buy the gift cards are supporting kind of the server's prize pool in an
Yep.
indirect way. Um, so you get these in-game items for supporting the server in that way. Um, so that's what we've done so far, and it's just kind of cool. So when you do the withdraw, I have to process that manually,
Mhm.
just to ensure, in the current stage of the game, um, that there's no bugs, that someone can find a way to to double their money or something, or some kind of glitch there. Every time someone withdraws, I just go and kind of double check, make sure everything was done legitimately. But the other side to that is you can when you could buy a Visa gift card in the lobby, which you get instantly, and you can go spend instantly. So my thoughts on that is if someone's going to find a way to hack, at least they're gonna and they buy the Visa gift card, at least it supports the sponsor. Um,
Yeah.
and I'll take the loss there.
Yeah.
Um, because I have it kind of set up on the back end how the money gets paid and whatnot.
Mm.
I pre-fund, so no actual Lightning transaction goes on when you buy a gift card.
Mhm.
I have the Bitcoin company holds funds of mine that get spent on the gift card, and and they get taken from your in-game balance. So that's kind of done out of band, I guess would be
Yeah. Yeah.
the way to explain it there. And that's kind of my thought. So and it hasn't happened yet. Everyone's played, everything's worked well um, in that regard of kind of security of the money in game. But that would be another reason why you would buy a gift card if you wanted an instant withdraw, you can get a Visa gift card, and then you can go. The cool thing is you could put those in your Apple Wallet and then go buy that. Go spend that in real life,
Mhm. That's
which is
super
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah, go buy those gift cards, everyone.
Yes, it's helpful. It keeps the prize pool nice.
Yeah.
And helps get sats in people's hands. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah. Are you also speaking with other companies potentially?
Not yet. Again, so we're doing 1 million sats a week
Mhm.
for 10 weeks. We'll be 5 weeks in tomorrow. That's on the agenda these next few weeks. A few more updates to push. Um, but then yeah, we're looking. I'd like to get a hardware wallet sponsor. Um, Another thing I think that I was talking to one of my buddies came up with a great idea. We add another secondary quest to kind of be like a more become more Bitcoin sovereign is have some things to complete. Do a withdrawal to a hardware wallet. Sign a
Mhm.
message with that hardware wallet, um, and for completing that quest, come up with all these things that kind of to take custody of your Bitcoin
Mhm.
uh, and get an ASIC for that.
Yep.
I think would be really cool to kind of we want to get Sats in people's hands, but we definitely want to make sure they're using Sats. At least they understand trade offs between they understand why they should be holding Sats themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that I think if you can explain that in a way where the more people that hold their own Sats, the higher the price goes. So for like the average person who doesn't love who doesn't really care about the whole ethos of self sovereignty, holding your own money, you could say you hold these yourself. If enough people hold these themselves, that drives the price up.
Yeah.
So do your part in that regard. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I was I was wondering too when I looked at the website, when I looked at your Twitter account, there's fairly little activity, but
Hmm.
clearly there's a ton of stuff happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that you're kind of in a beta phase,
Yeah.
and that once you're kind of happy with where the game is at, and then you feel comfortable with the mechanics and everything,
Mm.
that you'll roll out more, I don't know, more I guess beginner friendly information about how things
Yeah.
work and all of that stuff. That'll probably also be a pretty big effort. But I know how it is in projects. Before you want to go all public
Yeah.
with everything and put the marketing machine on, you want to make sure that it's really solid and a good
Right.
experience. Because there is like you mentioned, there's a lot to gap Minecraft itself and the Bitcoin mechanics.
Yeah.
There's a it's not easy.
No, explaining, the probably the hardest thing out of all of this is putting the explanation in the kind of overview explanation in the Discord. How can I succinctly explain this concept of like proof of work in Minecraft to someone who doesn't know either,
Yeah.
right? So I kind of have to give like a quick background on how proof of work works and how, essentially people in the real world expend resources, aka electricity, to get rewarded with the new Bitcoins. So it is in Satlantis, where you have to expend emeralds in ASICs to get Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Just like really quickly highlight the overall concept. Um, but
And even beyond that, I think you want to be you just want to create a fun world, right? You don't want
yeah,
people to go in there just to get the sats, right?
yeah,
you want
Totally.
them to go there because it's just a fun environment with a nice community
Yeah.
and fun games and things to build
Hmm.
and seeing all the cool things that people have built in a way that the sats are there is a currency, but it's not the main draw.
It's more of a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun game you play, and and you can get some sats as kind of like a byproduct
Yeah.
of it. Um, no doubt, yeah. And we definitely have quite a few people who come in and they're just like, how do I get sats? What do I got? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, explore.
Yeah.
So so yeah, that's a difficult problem, but I think it's gone well so far. We've had probably like 200 people come on the server, and we get maybe 20 people come back a day. So in terms of retention, with what we have so far, I'm pretty happy with that.
Hmm.
I know with tech products, 10% retention for kind of like a beta product is pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think the explanations so far have been good. And that didn't include the quests. I think the quests are going to be, and Mo, if you do end up going through that, definitely I'd appreciate any feedback on that because it's a very new feature. Um, and I think that can just quickly kind of explains um, and kind of gives you an idea of how the server's played and go explore these different aspects, go to the mining world, go to the overworld. Maybe we put a mini game section in there too, now that I'm saying it's not a bad idea. um,
To be a new family activity, Mo.
My girls will be like, Mom, let's stay at home the whole of Sunday and
yeah,
just play Minecraft. And they
Yeah.
will be like zombies in front of the
yeah,
computer.
that's how I was when I first started playing. I think I almost I don't know if I went to class for a week. I found it in college, and it was Minecraft will just it can just uh, totally absorb you the
Yeah.
first time you touch it. So be careful, Mo. Make sure you have some time set aside.
Yeah, but the enthusiasm in my 6-year-old, she's really a builder. And
Hmm.
she'll call me to the iPad, Mom, look what I built. She's so proud. And then she'll ask me for help, like, can you help me to build this? I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I'll click around on the screen trying to
Yep.
build something. But my 6-year-old really loves Minecraft. Actually, both of them do, and I have to regulate the amount of time. I give it to them as a treat. So yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's how you have
Yeah.
to do it.
No, we didn't really have have anyone else join today, which has been unfortunate. But that's also something that I was trying to figure out is how can we make something experimental and playful interesting to people. We have like research calls. Like earlier we had a research call where people were like talking hardcore about surveys and jobs to be done and UX research methods with like lively conversation.
Yeah.
With games and art and some of the more creative stuff in a way in Bitcoin design, we haven't had a ton of exposure or luck or experience or so. But like all the stuff we talked about is UX design, right? You're
It is.
designing very specific experience for onboarding for different types of players, how they all interact with each other. It's huge system design. So I find it super interesting. So we'll try to share this too, and maybe this is a good video too if you want to put it on Stacker News later or so.
Yeah.
There's some people who want to get some insight into the mechanics and what it looks like and how it all works. I hope that helps you out a little bit there as well. I mean, other than that, I would try to wrap it up here. It's been about an hour. Jitsi has this thing where it kicks you out anyways. It stops recording after an hour. We're nearing that, so it will kick us off here anyways. Is there anything else you wanted to chat about
No,
regarding?
thanks for setting this up. Yeah, it's been great. Even just like working through the explanations every time I do it, I think I get a little bit better because it is so niche. Um, so no, thanks again for setting this up. I appreciate the feedback. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy Mo again. If you check it out, all the feedback is very appreciated.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome, and thank you so much as well. I mean, we're clearly having fun. I saw it. I think the evening that you tweeted it out, somehow it ended up in my Twitter feed, and I was like, "Hey, my son loves Minecraft. Let's
Hmm.
see what we can do here."
Yeah,
And it's been a good time. We got his cousins on there; they have a good time. So
cool.
I think it's we'll be on there. Maybe if we can get a few other people in Bitcoin design to join as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks for playing, guys.
Mhm.
And you're doing an awesome job. I mean, the fact that you're building this alone,
Yeah,
solo, that's incredible. And
I
I
appreciate
asked
it.
you, where's your team? You're like, well, there's no team. That's really incredible. Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
it up.